welcome to day 3 out of 24 stories. Tonight's Christmas story is called The Lost Gift. It is written by Callie George and with pictures by Stephanie Grajan. I'm sorry if I get my pronunciations right. Also, there's an announcement at the end. Here we go. One windy day. One windy Christmas Eve. 4 little animals huddled on top of Merry Woods Hill. They were so excited, they barely felt the cold. They were waiting for Santa to fly by on his sleigh. "There he is!" shouted Rabbit. Said Squirrel. "That's just a cloud." "There he is!" Rabbit shouted again. That's just a..." Squirrel began. But this time it really was Santa. They all waved, and Santa waved back. For a moment the stars shone brighter, and the air smelled like pine and peppermint. "That's a big gust of wind." Then a big gust of wind hit Santa's sleigh. A present tumbled down like a shooting star, landing in the woods. "He'll be back for it," said Rabbit confidently. The others nodded. They waited and waited, but Santa didn't come back. "What should we do?" worried Deer. "Let's go find it," said Rabbit. Santa would want us to go home." Grumbled Squirrel. But Bird was already off. Come on," she chirped. In a square hole in the snow, they found a present. Rabbit dug it out. Squirrel shook it. "Chicka, chicka, chicka," it rattled. Deer jumped. "What is that?" Bird began to peck at the paper. "Stop," said Rabbit. "It doesn't belong to us. Look, there's a tag." "I can read the tag. I can," said Bird, hopping on the gift. "For the new baby at the farm. Love, Santa." The new baby! The animals had heard of the new baby. She'd been born in the summer, when the bees buzzed and the farmer's strawberries were sweet. "Now the new baby won't get her gift," gulped Deer. "Who cares?" said Squirrel. "She's not our baby." "Santa cares," said Rabbit. "Santa would want us to deliver it." "Do I look like Santa?" groaned Squirrel. "Maybe if we had a sleigh," said Bird. "A sleigh," said Rabbit. "Santa has a sleigh. Let's build one." Squirrel groaned again. But Bird had already begun. When the sleigh was ready to go, the animals carefully slid the present onto it and set off. The stars lit their way. Everything was going well until they came to a big hill. Up, up, up. Deer tugged the sleigh. Rabbit, Squirrel, and Bird pushed from behind. Finally, they reached the top. As I was saying, finally they reached the top, and whoosh! The sleigh sped down, down, down. Then, whoomp! It landed on a snowbank. Grumbled Squirrel, but he helped dig it out anyway. The animals moved slowly now. It was long past their bedtimes. They were hungry and tired and ready to give up. Maybe Squirrel was right, thought Rabbit. It wasn't their baby. Then Rabbit thought of Santa. Santa travelled all night long. He was probably hungry and tired too. But Santa would not give up. Rabbit began to sing. Soon, bird, deer, and even squirrel were singing along. At last, they reached the farmhouse. Deer pulled the sleigh onto the porch. Clip, clop, went his hooves. Shh, said Squirrel. But it was too late. They heard the baby cry. Who's there? Came a man's voice. The animals leapt off the porch and hid. They watched the farmer open the door, holding the crying baby. What's this? Said the farmer. He looked down at the gift, but the new baby looked out into the night. Did you see them? The animals held their breath as the farmer picked up the gift and read the tag. From Santa, he said to the baby. Let's go open it. They went back inside. What is it? Asked Deer. I can see it. I can, said Bird. It's a stick, groaned Squirrel. A lumpy old stick. A stick isn't a gift. Even Rabbit was disappointed. But the new baby grabbed the stick and shook it. Rattle, rattle, rattle. They heard faintly through the glass. Great, said Squirrel. A nosy, lumpy stick. A noisy, lumpy stick. They all stared through the window at the new baby, and the new baby stared back. She was smiling right at them. For a moment it felt as though sunshine warmed the wintry air. Suddenly it didn't matter that the gift was a stick. It made the new baby happy. And that made the animals happy too. Snow fell softly as the animals headed home, frosting their feathers and fur. They were too tired to talk, too hungry to sing, but no one complained, not even a squirrel. Above them the stars slipped away and the sky lightened, welcoming Christmas Day. When the animals got home, they couldn't believe their eyes. There was another gift. Great, groaned the squirrel. Groaned Squirrel. Not again. Bird read the tag. For my animal helpers. Merry Christmas. Love, Santa. It's for us, said Deer. Really? Wondered Squirrel. But how did he know? Santa always knows, said Rabbit. That story was called The Lost Gift. See you tomorrow for day 4. Bye.